Welcome, one and all, to the rebirth of Neo Reality Entertainment. So, we're going to cover the death metal tie-in, the Multiverse Who Laughs. And to be quite honest, this is the worst tie-in of the whole series. Yeah, I didn't think it would be topped. Man. Killed. So, yeah, just need to correct some things. So, yeah, Multiverse Who Laughs. It's the worst tie-in in the event, and that somehow beat the Robin King. That's saying something. And there's actually one good thing in here, but it's not really much. It's more like a, it doesn't surprise me. It's more like a, I'm not expecting that to happen eventually. So let's get into this. So we got the Robin King and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark Multiverse, written by Scott Snyder, James Tyron IV, Joshua Williamson, Saz in Feeding the Beast, Patton Oswalt, the Super Pets and the Super Threats, Amanda Khan and Jimmy Palmiotti. I'm pretty sure I butchered the names wrong, but they're the writers of Harley Quinn, so let's just go with that. Green Arrow and Green Lantern and Hard to Travel, Salad Atman, writer, and Steel in the Fear Index by Brandon Thomas. Yeah. So we get Robin King going in, breaking the fourth wall. Hi there. I didn't see you on the other side of the fire sitting with all my little goblins. Come sit closer, please. I was just getting ready to tell my friends here a scary story or two, and you should hear them. I mean, holy smokes, we're almost at the end now. The old regime is tumbling down, and we're ripping out its insides and feasting on them. And you don't understand what's possible now, do you? The crowd eagerly anticipates this moment. Pop culture Omniversa fans, please stay tuned for this. Oh joy, where do I begin? Do I start with the desperate scientist on a doomed world who saved their last son by sending him to be raised by a kindly couple on Earth? Or with the princess who leaves her paradise island to bring peace to the world of men? Perhaps it's a boy. Perhaps it's the story of a boy in an alley who loses everything and swears an oath on his dead parents and not the Frank Millerverse. Versus bodies to dedicate his entire life to end all crime. And wait, I can see your eyes glazing over. You've heard those stories before. You're sick of those stories. The stories always go the way they're going to go, and if they slightly deviate even slightly, then they're tossed down into the waste bin of the multiverse, down in the dark with all of us. Ah, yes, so reboots. Got it. Okay, so why is death metal ever since Danny Boy left have been kind of mocking Danny Boy and all his rebooting ideas? So Robin King proposes an excellent solution. You're dying for something exciting, different, to happen, aren't ya? Cheer, 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 cheer. We're going to go annoy people. Well, you're in luck. I told you this was a scary story. You already know how I killed every dumb hero on my world and became king for 2 weeks, and then he got tossed into an acid pit. But do you know the story about the spoiled rich kid who watched his parents die in an alley, who became evil and took over the world and is about to kill a god? Yeah, and we're left trying to wonder what timeline this takes place in because it's happened on 3 occasions, yet we don't get any definitive detail. Like one minute they're battling in one tie-in, then they're battling again, and then they start the battle in the main story, then they're battling already in the tie-ins. So we're left trying to wonder what the hell happened. Because right this very moment, our darkest night is out there changing all the rules. No more happy endings. No more good triumphing over evil. I am Dan the Dio. I will destroy the joy of the DC Universe and replace it with nihilistic content. At least until I get fired, in which case I am horribly screwed. But I will leave it broken, unable to be fixed. At least until the next relaunch. These stories, because of him, a whole new kind of story is rising up into the multiverse above. The stories that never would have been allowed to be real before. Now they're the only game in town. like a whirl. Oh, where the last son of Krypton was just a wee baby boy in his wee baby rocket ship when he passed through a cosmic radiation storm from a black hole. By the time he crashed in Smallville, he was left with a power hunger that can only be satisfied with burning human flesh. I feel like I've heard this movie before. Um, it's like Superman, if Superman was a demonic hell kid. So basically, like every generation we got to live with nowadays. By the time he crashed in Smallville, oh and whatnot, yeah. So yeah, I'm trying to remember. Smallburn, that was it, right? I think so. Meanwhile, then Barry Allen, or was it Wally West? I mean, does it really matter, honestly? Well, Wally West has now been undignified by Danny Boy by his regime and his idea that Wally must be destroyed. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure in Danny Boy's world, this is Wally West. The Flash wanted to share his gift with everyone, but the Speed Force evolved them into these vicious predatory speed monsters. The society could build and collapse in seconds. The human race blasting to its ultimate heat death within hours. Ah, yes, that story. And then there's the Green Man from Mars. His whole race was killed, so he decided to restart them here on Earth, but he needed hosts. Can you imagine what it's like to have something grow inside you that only wants to kill you? Not even fire can burn the image I have in my mind. Yeah, it's called Aliens. Imagine a world where instead of bringing peace to the world of men, Wonder Woman decided to bring war to the gods and strip them of their power. Yeah, they already did that story, and this one sounds much more interesting when he says this. Dana pulled so tightly on the lasso around her daddy Zeus's neck that his head just popped right off. I wish to see that story. Though I will question one question. I do have one question though. We're still going with the whole she's the daughter of Zeus instead of the whole born from clay. That sounds much more interesting because you still get to keep the god context in, but not be directly related by blood. Confusing. Plus, it continues to prove the notion that Zeus likes to sleep with every woman in existence. Like Cassie Sandsmark's entire existence is based off of, hey, so your dad Zeus, he's a lying adulterer, and he sleeps with everyone. And I'm trying to wonder how Hera has not killed him yet. And instead, she punishes everyone who was responsible for this in her eyes. You remember when Jon Stewart blew up a whole world? Like, a whole world, and what happened? Nothing? You see, I don't know how it was done in the comics universe, but in the Justice League cartoon, it was casually explained that this was clearly a mirage by holographic technology because the Manhunters and the Guardians were morons that day. So, yeah. Think of John living in fear of it happening again, and the parallax crept his way into his soul. John vowed to never let another world fall on his watch, even if it meant enslaving them. Yes. So, 0 hour. So, he continues telling more random tales. Dream of an Aquaman that was more fish than man. Instead of being raised on the surface, he was forced to grow up in the trench with all the other monsters in the dark. When he finally came to the surface, he was disgusted by what he saw and sank it all. Billions drowned. Isn't that what Namor kind of wants to do nowadays? And then he shows and falls in love. And just look at this badass Lois Lane. She knew what was up. For humanity to be safe, the heroes all had to die. Yes, the heroes all had to die. Well, I mean, like, you could probably take Batman and it would probably, like, keep him down for, like, 2 minutes. See, this is the good stuff. These are the stories grown-ups should tell kids like us. Because these are how it really is out there. The bright stories they tell us, those are the stupid dreams. But this is not a dream, my goblins. This is not hoax. This is real and not at all fake news. This is now. This is forever. At least until the event's over and Batman Who Laughs is dead. And because you realize what we have to do to really defeat the old stories? We have to sully them. We have to taint them with so much horror and grind that nobody will ever believe them to be the shining example. That's the genius of our new god, our darkest night. Each of these worlds is a sharp and deadly weapon. By God. They're going to invent Hollywood, California. The bastards. This is how they lose. All the heroes on this stupid little world, they're about to understand. A multiverse who laughs is a multiverse that wins. Now, are you ready to turn that page, dear reader, as I break the fourth wall and act like I'm Deadpool? Well, because the horror out there are ready for you. They're out there. Oh, we cut to no transition. We just cut to crazy McGee Saz, clean and terrifying. Flesh made pure by metal. I've etched the blueprint for my transformation. From the moment I sent steel into flesh, impatiently taught my birth flesh to prepare the way. I've seen the others, the unprepared others, clowns, scarecrows, penguin posses, made metal. Two Jokers, because that's what it literally shows, two Jokers. What looks to be a zombified version of the Enchantress, more so, the Penguin looking like a cybernetic robot with a red nose, and Mr. Freeze basically looking like the Batman anime series season 4. Yeah, it took some effort to get their attention. My mind reels with the plans they must have for me. Perhaps I will be made of concentrated skin Vicar. Or had to turn that nurse into ribbons, maybe a spiraling skin golem, but now they're taking me where I'll become transformed. What if they pulled me open? A living wound on reality, a doorway for nightmares. So where the metal chooses from the elect of evil, the acme of agony, from the ones who are the darkness beyond darkness. I would be plucked from that zenith. Only blades, only blades, only blades, only blades. And we got to a resort of Arkham. Feeding the beast. This is Arkham? I hope we meet as friends, Victor. You're Amadeus Arkham? Amadeus? Goldcliff is the name. Saw the movie in high school, though. The real Crocker. Made me take up opium for a while, but then I discovered mathlets. And that was all she wrote. Har. And then we cut to a group of people in a group therapy session. I don't know why. I guess I just like kites. Wonderful Charles! Kite Man. Charles Brown. Would you like to tell something to our sharing circle, Victor? Stay out of the sharing circle, new best friend. I'll let the metal speak for me. And he immediately prepares to kill someone, only to fail. Reassessment. And there's no fixing me. Don't you see? I don't, Victor. Cards in the deck and in your knife and in your neck. Heck, the only hope is transformation. Transformation. You understand? But the 2 and 3s things beat out the kings and queens. You should do it to me. What got done to the heavy hitters? Dent, Jones, 52 doesn't care for me or you. They are much improved. Exactly. Yes. These trick-or-treaters you have me in are gnats. Well, I don't believe in name calling, Victor. Silly, not killy, skilly, killy, skilly, killy. And he just growls. But I do believe in radical responses to extreme behavior. Gimme. And we cut to art therapy where he is routinely pissed. Those are pretty colors, Victor. Meanwhile, Kite Man is drawing kites. Everything is a kite. I want it to be. It can be, Charles. Come with me to the sharing circle. And Saz is pissed. No, wrong, Victor. I don't want to be rude, but I'm busy with Kite Man. I've killed hundreds. I've wrenched life from this planet, etched every loss into my flesh. You murdered 117 people and kept a count. And you're going to give this gimmick monkey the gift of deathlish flesh and living metal? Yes. You crawling pencil pusher. I do not crawl. Oh, I will take this up on Twitter and have you cancelled by the cancel cultures. You're going to inject me with that trank gun and strap me to that table, and you're going to transform me, or you'll spend the rest of your painful life dreaming of being able to crawl. Your first 10 words were correct, and he promptly shoots him casually. Do not try to speak, Victor. As you can probably tell, that wasn't our tranquilizer. Far from it. I apologize for the pain you're experiencing, but it is necessary. The high level of pain is to immobilize you. Charles will be hungry once he's done transforming. A fear-filled bag of blood and adrenaline will help with the transition. Oh, here comes another surge, I'm afraid. As I said earlier, you murdered 117 people mindlessly, artlessly, compulsively. The dark metal craves violence, but it also craves craft. It is an art. Murder is an art form, according to my logical conductions. We have more than enough killers, Victor. The surface of the earth is crawling. We've been cleansed by them. And we have death and darkness and sorrow. Now we want music, poetry, and whimsy. Our music. You wouldn't like it. And we cut to the Condiment King. Mitchell, Cornelius, I hope we meet as friends. I ain't your friend Tubbs. Cornelius, I hope I'm not being rude by wondering if you two found that you have some things in common. I mean, with your taste in sustenance, and Mitchell's good one, cock. The cannibal killer and the condiment king going to the nut house on the same day. We ain't got crap in common. We never will. You've never found that catsup? Oh, excuse me. Is it ketchup or catsup? I never know right. It's two different words, but it's the same thing. Although ketchup is just an anglicized pronunciation of ketchup from China's southern coastal region. It's where the European traders first encountered what we now enjoy as ketchup. I guess that's why they call you the Condiment King. You know, Goblet is just the German version of Amadeus. You ever see that movie? One of my favorites. Somebody kill me. The end. Wow, that was pointless. I mean, would it surprise me that Arkham was... probably Arkham would get stuff done faster nowadays. Yeah, so we either get this happy-go-lucky, but really the devil incarnate Arkham, or we get crappy Arkham with revolving doors. Pick your poison, essentially. Then we cut to Crypto, the super dog. What are you, 1 week away from Earth? It feels like 49 whole days. It would be good to be home, to get home to... Wait a minute, how can that be? How does Earth have a ring around it? This is bad. Yes, Earth has a ring around it. And definitely not all those people in space that have died from decompression, oxygen, and explosiveness. What? I was away. My dears, aliens? What did Earth humans blow us all up? I know where to get that answer. Oh no, the Hall of Justice! Can anyone still be alive? Hello? Is anyone home? Oi, Crypto, we are in here. You're back. It's good to see you. Great Scott, Comet. What happened? And what happened was that you weren't here when we needed you the most. Streaky, this was not Crypto's fault, was it? If he had been here, we would have had a airball. And he swallows out a finger. As I was saying, if he had been here, we would have had a better chance of getting this under control. It was handled, buddy. It's just 24 hours. The virus spread like wildfire. The planet went crazy. Everyone turned on everyone else, including us. We barely got alive. So they have their own COVID crisis, except everyone took it to the nuclear extreme. Got it. Ace, if I may explain, it all started here in the Hall of Justice. We were going over the day's events, catching up with everyone's latest adventures when it happened. So then I carried the plane on my back till I could land it on the ground safely. Turns out the main computer had a glitch that shut down the engines. Oh, Helen disaster. Good thing you were there to save everybody. My day was nothing special. Finished paperwork. Looked for you guys, and then I had to see the doctor about ear mites. So annoying. I got milked. That was fun. And Soviet bear, Russian bear goes crazy. In Soviet Russia, they blow up you. Red murderer. Of the Legion's 23rd deadliest member. Guys, look at him. You're right. The white of his eyes is yellow. Oh, and in yellow of his teeth is red. He looks insane. Nay! Hey, get back, you drooling brute! Comet move! Your hindquarters! Super pets attack! And the Russian bear starts battling in Armageddon! and it would be filled with claws, bites, teeth. And then the monkey goes and shoots it with tranquilizer. So the monkey's Superman, and it's using a gun. We're really at this point, people. Wrigley, help me get him to the lab. Bat cow, tend to the comet's wounds. It's just worse than I thought. Some kind of infection in his system. It's like nothing I've seen before. And by the time we realize it, we will already have killed a whole bunch of people. Oh, and we'll have idiots going ahead and trying to break quarantine because they want to be edgy and cool. Oh, also, worldly dumbasses. And our government's being irresponsible until it starts fixing the problem, and then they think it just goes away. It seems that NRE has weaponized the spread of the virus through contact. Were any of you bitten, scratched, licked, or drooled on? Guys, and they're already fighting. Computer, initiate contamination sequence. Some of it's so tight, I'll try to find some cure. Stay right there and do your best to remain calm. Well, Koto, as you probably gathered, the super friend, that's went completely berserk. And they start eating people. Saros! What the? They traverse the four corners of the world on a rampage of death and destruction. And yeah, Bat Cow does gross stuff. The virus is spreading globally within hours. Oh no, rats are coming out! It's the sequel to the bubonic plague. Meanwhile, we can only assume that the Legion of Doom went underground to wait out the inevitable self-annihilation of the planet. As the Bat Dog unleashes Arkham. So, yeah, Batman just speed up the meeting. And sure enough, as the world fell into chaos, I did everything I could to mitigate the situation. And you failed miserably. Jump in Jehoshaphat! I ain't get on your feet, you giddy up the hell up! Save yourself, Jake! Meanwhile, my supercomputer worked overtime to break down the virus. After 26 hours, I was able to nullify the viral sample. As soon as I I tracked down each of our brethren and gave them the antiviral. I tell you, old friend, it was not easy. No, Beerwood, I imagine it wasn't. You were able to share that treatment with any others? Others? Did you notice when you came back to Earth? What? Oh dear, my poor boy. All on Earth are dead. We are the sole survivors. I've only had time to produce enough of the cure for us. Once the virus takes hold, death occurs in 19 hours. I had to act quickly to save them. Oh, this can't be happening. I had a wife. I had 6 pups. Correction had. Really, Streaky? Have some sympathy. Anyone else feeling warm? I'm feeling hungry. Like really hungry. Me too. I feel like killing something. Anything. Anyone? Everyone. And Crypto wonders what the hell happened. And the monkey says, I had no time to test the cure. These weren't normal circumstances. Listen to me. Listen, friends. Let me sedate you all. Oh, and see if the attack and the issue ends. So no progress on that. Now we get to what was honestly the best part of this. Of this thing. New OA Subsector 070, formerly known as Star City. You sure this is the right way? Hey, you bastards. It's not pronounced is this the right way. It is the way. I do not have a Mandalorian helmet, so I can't use the reference. And I'm telling you, the message he said be down this alley. It might not matter. Those Steel Guardians are right behind us. If they catch us, don't worry. They're not going to catch you. Green Arrow is alive! Not while Green Arrow's still kicking. And he blows up these robotic drones of the Guardians. I told you, you really are him. I'm Omniversa, and this is my sister. Or later, you two were brave enough to make it this far, but we gotta get to the safe house before... Oh, shoot. Oh, no. How? It's been a few years. You're a fugitive, Ollie. You're teaching these kids treason. It's going to get you all killed. Treason? This is Earth, man. Our planet. No one told your precious Guardians they could take over. The Guardians have brought peace and order. You remember how bad this place was before they caved? Yeah, I mean, like, everyone went on Tumblr and lost their minds when they removed all the adult content. And then no one recovered since. You really believe that, huh? You've changed, Green Lantern. Sure, you used to be a stiff, but you were a good man. The best man I knew. Oh, yeah, you were the best man. Which I'm pretty certain we did my wedding and you weren't my best man. I think you were back from the dead at the time, but we lost track. But now you're talking about killing kids. Kids! Don't you see what those guardians have done to your mind? It's a scummy little ring, man, whispering to you all day and night, twisting you up inside. Just take it off. Please. Please. Oh, so the Guardians did plan contingency, God knows what else. So I read this, and I was like, is it really out of the idea that, like, God. So I've written this fan fiction, and I even came up with the idea, hey, what if there's a thing in the ring that transmits a secret subtle message of subliminal messaging into the ring bearers' heads to go ahead and make them start doing things under their orders and control without any questions? And it's like Order 66 from Star Wars The Clone Wars, where they have a biochip in their heads. So someone apparently got wind of that idea and took it. I demand royalty fees. Hal Jordan contemplates this before saying, I can't. Earth needs to be protected. Protected from illusion people. Guess this is how it's gotta be then, brother. I got one trick left in my bag. A yellow cedar. And it's got your name on it. And thus, the epic battle between best friends, former allies, mind-controlled, guardian-controlled Green Lantern, and freedom fighter Ollie Green Arrow, and goes into mortal combat, and the end. We cut to the fear index. The index is 8 tonight. It's not expected to drop below 7 until next week. Yeah, and then we're going to have to deal with that pesky pencil pushing stuff in Arkham, and we already got annoyed with that. Professor Crane's toxin has covered the Earth for over 2 years now. Even I lost track of the exact number of days, the perfect record I was supposed to be keeping. For future generations that finally beat this thing, after losing Natasha, it just didn't matter to me anymore. Come on, man. No, don't. And his mask is ripped off and he succumbs to the fear index. Where did you get that mask? Tell us where you got it. Think he's all gone. The fear's got to him now. Nah, man. You better tell us, or there's gonna be trouble. And Steel rise to blow the ground up. Hey, man, we saw him first. It's him. Stay low, kid. This'll only take a minute. Sometimes there's only one way to clear hard heads. You think you run into this stuff out here, but you don't run. And they get their asses kicked. Next time I take your masks and leave you out here on an 8 night, breathe. Try and breathe. I remember your name. Remember where you are. Okay. This is still called Gotham? Metropolis. Gotham is gone. Wait, what gone? Gone like you. Then he wakes up at Ironworks after being stabbed. Take it slow. The antitoxin has a real kick. Still working on a bit of a learning curve, even for me. Thank you. Seriously, who are you? John Henry Irons. Yours? Jean. Paul Valley. Ah, great. How long has it been since we last saw him? Was it Justice League Odyssey? And then before that it was Detective Comics by James Tynion the Fourth? Yeah. How? The index is at 8 tonight. Without protection, you should be out of your mind right now. Crane's gas doesn't hit everyone the exact same way. So you're what? Immune? There's this theory. Says the things that some of us and our ancestors have been forced to endure, the brutality and humiliation, the oppression, and the constant attacks on our humanity, something called callous inside of us, so we can even function without tearing it down. Yeah, maybe the air is filled with fear right now, but for me it's just Tuesday, son. Can you? I know I can't know everything. I can't never really know, but can you teach me, Mr. Irons? I can teach you how to feel that fear. That you'll lose everything that matters at any moment, though no real fault of your own. I can teach you how to feel that and still move forward. You just have to believe that there's a day coming when you won't need to, and know how to fight long enough to reach it. Until then, the index is stuck at 8. There's always more work to do. So, yeah, this confused me when I read this. So, according to John Henry Irons, he lost everybody, but he's been able to use it to fight back the toxin. This ends on a slightly more hopeful note than you would expect from this comic. In fact, I was confused when how it ended. It just stopped, really. So, yeah, the Green Lantern and Green Arrow story is honestly the best one because the first one could have been good if it made the promises it delivered on, and it didn't. So, yeah, so this is honestly the worst tie-in of the entire event. I mean, just it's just not good. The artwork's very divisive at times. It changes from time to time because there are multiple writers and multiple artists. And really, the Henry Irons one is the one that ends on a somewhat optimistic note because they could theoretically beat the toxin. So yeah. So yeah, and uh, so yeah. I this is just sadly not a good enough story to like recommend on that front. I'm like I got it because I've been collecting all the death metal event tie-ins. Unless you're those serious collectors who want to collect the entire event, like I do from time to time when I'm interested in it. But that is the breaks. So yeah, the Multiverse Who Laughs is, like there's like a couple of good bits in here, but it's not enough to save the entire structure of the story. So we'll have to check out things next time. So this was Pop Culture Omniverse, everybody. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, check things out on my YouTube channels, and stay tuned for the death metal event when I talk about the last stories of the DC universe.